Hey everyone, either welcome back or welcome to my channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be explaining exactly what happened with my injury to my foot. Now, I'm going to keep this a little bit IIH related because I have noticed some things that at least I think have been a little bit more difficult because of being on crutches and balance and all of that. So this is still going to be a little bit about IIH, but it's mostly going to be about my injury. So before we get too far into the video, let's roll the intro. Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ashley Stewart. So 2018 was actually a pretty hard year for me, but it was also a pretty good year too. So I completed my bachelor's degree in biochemistry. But at the same time, I was also diagnosed with a rare condition called idiopathic intracranial hypertension, or IIH. Some of you may also know this by its older name called pseudotumor cerebri. So, if you're curious to learn more about what it's like to live with this rare condition, then I encourage you to watch on. Don't forget to subscribe, and I upload new content every Monday and Thursday afternoon. As I've been hinting on my previous couple of videos, I may have even hinted about it since the first video that I was actually had this happen. I had a bit of an accident and ended up breaking a bone in my ankle. What happened was I was going to bed on Wednesday night on June 26th. I sleep in the basement in our new house. Number one, it's cooler, but number two, because I was told that if we ever had company that I'd be booted down there anyway, so I'm just like, well, I don't want to have to sleep in two different beds. I could have the room upstairs if I wanted it, but if we ever got company, I'd have to go downstairs. So I just said, I think I'll look at the room, because I actually didn't look at the house until we actually had possession of it. And there was a double closet down there, and the room was actually really nice. I'd have my own bathroom and my own space. And basements are really, really comfortable in the summer, especially when you don't have air conditioning, which we don't in this house right now. But anyways, it was about 9:30, quarter to 10. Actually fairly late considering what time I normally go to bed. And I must not have been paying attention. And I also made the mistake of not having the light on and not using the flashlight on my phone. I thought I was at the bottom of the stairs, so I went to step out onto the first landing, and the next thing I knew, I felt my ankle get caught underneath my leg. I didn't hear no pop, no crack, no nothing. But as soon as I landed and tried to move it, I'm just like, holy man, this hurts. This one actually hurt really, really bad. And actually our stairs are fairly steep too. So 1 or 2 steps is basically 3.5 or 4 feet. It's a significant drop. I know I haven't done a house tour and it won't be happening now for a significant amount of time because right now I'm on no weight bearing, and then after that I'll have to do rehab to get my strength back, and that takes just as long as the no weight bearing, so it'll be a few months before I'm probably able to get back downstairs. I ended up twisting towards the laundry room, which is on the right. So it was kind of like this, but it was towards the right. And I actually landed on my front. Thankfully, I didn't try to stop myself. Normally, I probably would have tried to stop myself. And I also thankfully did not hit my head. One of the biggest concerns with IIH when you fall is hitting your head. Now, because I immediately wasn't able to put weight on it, I knew immediately that I had to go to the emergency room. So that kind of ruined my night. It was definitely good that we went because it ended up being broken. They told me it was broken, but then the reason why I didn't put out a video was I was actually away, so the videos up until the one today have been all scheduled. And I also wasn't home because I was away at my cousin's graduation. And actually, this was the night before we were supposed to leave for my cousin's graduation. Thankfully, I was still able to attend, but it was hard because I have been on crutches before. If you've checked out my 40 facts about me, this is actually now my 4th broken bone. I've broken my right wrist twice, and now I've broken my left ankle twice. So this is a different spot than when it was when I was 15, if you've watched that video. If you haven't, I highly suggest you watch it. It's a good way to get to know me a little bit if you kind of want to get to know kind of the person behind this channel. Nothing has changed except for the amount of bones that I've broken. So let's hope it stays at 4. I am not casted this time. I'm just in an orthopedic boot, I believe is what they call it. It is called an air cast. Alright, so I just wanted to show you what this air cast or boot looks like. There's the bottom part here, and then this is the release for the air. This is the pump for the air on this one side. The other side also has it too, but I can't get my leg to come up. So just know that it's the same on this side as it is on the other side. And then there's a top part. So this comes apart by, so you push the release button and then you take the straps off. I'm not going to do this because I can't actually put it together myself. So the Velcro comes off, and then this part is actually a separate part, and it's kind of like a sturdy part like a cast is, and then there's 2 more Velcro parts underneath. So there's one at the kind of the foot, and then there's one kind of at the shin. So when you're putting it on, you put your foot to the back of the boot so that it's to the back, and then make sure that it's lined up. You do up these parts, you add on the top part, you do the straps, and then you pump this up, and it'll depend on how tight you need to do it, but you don't want it too tight. So for me, usually I do about 2 to 3, depends. But yeah, that's the boat that they have me in that's acting as pretty much my cast for right now. It's just to keep the ankle supported, but you can take it off for changing, and you can actually take it off for showering. It gets awfully sweaty in this thing, and this thing is nowhere near as heavy as a cast. So the only thing I'm kind of happy about is that I'm not in a cast in a way, because casts are really, really hot and heavy. So it's kind of nice having a boot that you can take on and off instead of having that heavy cast that you can't get wet no matter what. But it's still difficult because I'm not able to tolerate my foot being out of the boot for longer than, I think it's about 1.5 or 2 minutes now, when a week ago it was about 10 seconds. So it's definitely improved from what it was before, but it's still really painful. With this boot on me, I've been told to stay off of it. Now, I have been told that I can take off my boot if I'm just lying around. However, I think for me, I will probably keep the boot on most of the time. This is going to be a little bit of a long ride, but hopefully it goes okay. Now, the hardest part has been using crutches again. Now, when I broke my ankle the last time, the house that we were in, we only had a little tiny step into the house, and then you were on the main floor. The only difference was I wasn't able to sleep in a bed for 6 weeks. So I actually had to sleep on the couch. It was pretty comfortable, and I slept okay. And I was in school at the time, so I had to get up every day and go to class, and my gym teachers, because I actually did break my ankle in gym class, actually helped me build up my arm muscle strength. So this time it feels like, you know, you have a little bit less help and all of that with the gaining your strength and all of that. But I'm actually not doing too bad on the crutches, but the difference is we have 3 steps into our house this time. I'm just not coordinated enough with crutches to go up and down steps, so I'm pretty much confined to the house, and this is gonna be pretty rough being that I don't have access to my exercise and all of that I need to stay healthy for my mental and emotional health. Obviously no Zumba because you can't do that on one leg. I can't even get downstairs right at this point in time without help. So actually I can't do a lot of things without help. You don't realize how much you use your 2 legs until you don't have one anymore. Now I want to talk a little bit about how being on the crutches and what I've noticed this time compared to when I was 15 on crutches and didn't have IIH. I've noticed that my balance seems to be quite bad. And I used to work on balance actually quite a bit, and I probably mentioned this when I've talked about my exercise before. This is one of the reasons why I do the type of exercising that I do, because there are a few one-legged exercises that I do with the Zumba that are specifically to help with the balance. Now, there are sometimes, no matter how much I train with the balancing, it's really difficult to get any improvement. The only day that I really had a good day was the day I had to see a specialist for the legs. So they referred me to an orthopedic surgeon just to make sure that everything was good, basically. And so I had to go to a bigger hospital for that. It was a lot of using crutches, and I had no trouble that day. I was actually having a fairly good day. But the past couple of days has been really rough on me. This is just a balancing issue that I think is just coming with the territory of not having 100% balance because of the IIH, but I don't really know. This is pure speculation at this point. I just wanted to mention a little bit about what I've noticed, and it's definitely been, it seems like it's been more difficult with the IIH and even the migraines, even if it's migraines. I seem to have trouble with the balance. Now, like I said, when you constantly feel like you're kind of on an unsteady boat almost, you can imagine that having to hop around, that wouldn't be the best of things. The crutches are better than nothing. When I try and hop on one foot, it does not go very well. So it's better for me to use the crutches. I've had some people suggest different types of mobility, but I think it's really important to try and build up my upper body strength with the crutches. And honestly, when most of the time I'm not leaving the house, unless you're going to a very large place where you would have to be doing a lot of time on your crutches, I don't really see the need when all I have to do basically is get up to go to the washroom during most of the day. And to be quite honest, it's kind of nice because it gives you a little bit of exercise. So, because exercise is really difficult. It's pretty much out of the question right at this point in time. If you guys want to see a picture of what my ankle looked like 11 days after my accident, check out my Instagram. I'm not going to put it in the video because my feet are quite bruised and I know not everybody wants to look at that. So if you guys do want to look at that, check out my Instagram. The link is in the video description. You just got to scroll a little bit down and you'll find the link for it. I bruised really badly, and actually it's still surprising how badly I bruised. So if you want to check that out, definitely check out my Instagram. The link is also available on my Twitter, but it's through an Instagram link. And I've been tweeting out quite a bit more than what I have been in the past. So if you guys want to check that out through Twitter, you can do that too. But the good news is that it's feeling much better than what it did. The biggest surprise to me is just how much muscle loss I've had in the last couple of weeks now, almost couple of weeks. They did a repeat x-ray on, when was it? July 5th. And the amount of muscle loss that I had was quite amazing. I couldn't believe how much I had lost in just a week. Because it had only been about 8 or 9 days since I had the fall. So as for now, I think that's everything that I want to cover for today. If you guys have anything that you would like to add in the comments, feel free to add a comment down below. Bye everyone!